Okay, we are in action. Okay. Sure, sure. So, how does stress affects your body, and what are the challenges you face when you are in stress, and what can you do to fight it back? So, stress affects body in multiple nefarious ways. Adrenaline, which is also the other name for epinephrine, is responsible to initiate heart to beat faster. It increases your blood pressure whenever you are in stress. And this over time causes hypertension in your body. Cortisol, another hormone in the body, on the other hand, interferes with the endothelium or the inner lining of the blood vessels in your body. And this results to the improper functioning of your blood vessels over time. This is studied by scientists as an early stage of accumulating cholesterol in your arteries. In other words, it is also known as plaque buildup or atherosclerosis. Haven't you heard that people say or doctors saying to you that don't take stress, otherwise you might get a heart stroke? This is basically because of a phenomenon wherein this hormone is released in your body, which leads to breakdown of glycogen in your body, which releases extra sugar in your body and which accumulates as plaque in the arteries in the blood vessels of your body, which might lead to a heart stroke or a heart attack. Have you ever felt butterflies in your stomach when you are stressed? When the stress signals go to your brain, your autonomic nervous system gets activated. These signals through the neurons of the brain connect to the big brain, to the enteric or the intestinal nervous system in your stomach. And this is how you feel butterflies in your stomach when you are stressed. Stress disturbs the intestinal contractions of your stomach, and this can even lead to IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. This way, the stomach gets more sensitive to the acid in the stomach, which is there in excess because it was not able to work on the food digestion, because the contractions in your intestine got disturbed with this stress signal that was sent from your brain to your stomach. And this excess acid is going to lead to heartburn. Have you sometimes felt that whenever you are stressed, there is heartburn or stomach, burn or bloating or some kind of acid coming onto your throat? There's a nervous system in your gut, and if it gets disturbed, it can lead to a huge upheaval of natural flora and fauna of the gut bacteria. This way, digestive and overall health of your stomach gets affected when you are stressed. Have you ever wondered that how your waistline increases when you are stressed? Now, cortisol increases your hunger for energy-dense foods, which have more carb in it. And this carb accumulates deep into your belly. Now, what is that region where that carb or that fat accumulates? It is called as visceral adipose tissue in your body, and that fat that accumulates is called as visceral fat. So immune system chemicals like cytokines are released to fight it, and cytokines are generally released to repair an injured site, and fight infections by promoting inflammation. So if you get hurt or you just bang your hand onto something and you get hurt, what you get inflammation on that site, right? Now that inflammation is not bad at that site to a certain degree, to a certain extent. And that inflammation is caused by a certain chemical, immune system chemical, which is called as cytokines. But when someone is stressed, the same cytokine chemical is released, and this causes inflammation in body because now they're fighting their own immune system. They are thinking, the cytokine is thinking that there is some attack happening in body and we have to fight it. And this stress is basically an attack, and cytokine is fighting that stress, and as a result of it, it causes inflammation in body. And when you have chronic stress, it decreases the functioning of immune cells over time, and this slows your progress towards injury in body. Have you ever seen that when you're stressed, it takes so much time to revive your injury? That's because your immune system is already exhausted by fighting your stress, your chronic stress in body. Now, how does chronic stress affect the longevity of a person? Chronic stress affects by shortening the telomeres. What are telomeres? They are like the tip of your shoelaces on your chromosomes. The length of the telomere measures a cell's age. Have you ever seen that few people look so young, but few people of the same age look older than their age? That is because the telomeres are shortened due to chronic stress in them. Telomeres are like caps on your chromosomes. So telomeres that cap chromosomes allow DNA to get copied every time the cell divides without damaging the cell's genetic code. Telomere will get shortened with each cell division naturally, but when they become too short, the cell is not able to divide and the cells die. But this is a natural phenomenon and it should happen in its own pace. But when we are stressed, the telomeres shorten extensively and they start getting short and short and short, faster and faster. Now, if your telomere gets shortened, your cells will not be able to replicate in a good way, in a proper way, and then they will die. And this will lead to your aging, and this will in turn affect the longevity of your life. Have you noticed that how stress also causes acne, hair loss, things like sexual dysfunction, difficulty concentrating, and irritability? If this chronic stress is left unchecked, it can lead to high blood pressure, heart disease, obesity, and diabetes. Now, what can you do about it? Now, one more thing I would like to say here is uh, think about it that what are the two ways which take toll on you when you are stressed? Do you get headaches? Does your stomach get upset? Do you get agitated? Do you get irritated by people around you? Write it down. Write it in your diary. Before the start of this session, we decided to have a diary in which we are going to write about how we feel every day and why, and what can we do to improve it so that we feel better. Well, the best way to fight stress is to control and master one's challenges with calmness instead of fighting them with panic response. By controlling your stress, you will not only perform in short run, but also you will stay healthier in longer run. The better way to control stress is by doing at least like 5 minutes of meditation twice a day, at least. And secondly, by ignoring and not taking other people's comments personally. You don't know what they are going through, and just as if they have said something to you, you are going to take it personally into your heart, and that will affect you in long term. So learn to let go, do meditation, do walking, go for a nature walk around your neighborhood. Learn more things in your life, and this way you will be able to calm down and decrease your stress. So today we have learned a lot of things. We have learned that the two that how does cortisol affect our body, how does adrenaline and epinephrine affect our body, and how are they responsible to initiate our heartbeat going faster, and how does it increases the blood pressure. We have learned that high blood pressure also causes hypertension over time. We have learned that cortisol is responsible to thin the inner lining of the blood vessels by accumulating plaque on it. Cortisol helps us build the thicker waistline. Now, cortisol is a hormone that is sent into our body, in our body system, when we have too much stress, and this should not be there. We have learned about intestinal nervous system and how do we get butterflies in our stomach when we are stressed, and how does it lead to other stressors in our stomach, like we get IBS, we get this hypersensitivity to the acid in stomach, we get food indigestion, we get heartburn. So it is very important for you to keep your stress low. And we have also learned that chronic stress affects the longevity of a person. We have also learned how this cytokine uh, decreases the immune response of our body. So yeah, this is what I wanted to share with you guys, and I hope you learned something and learn to keep your stress down. These are very important things for you to keep in mind when you react to a certain situation in your day-to-day life. So I'll share more with you over a period of time. And but for now, I hope you remember what we just spoke about and take care of yourself. Okay, so I'm going to stop my recording and you can refer to it later if you want.